What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream regularly here as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by My Music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound. And I do have a new song coming out on January 1st called Run, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's jump into the topic of today's video, which is the Wild Season Permit. Now, I have been tracking this ever since it launched. We are currently in our 14th season of this, and there's been some interesting insights. Obviously, the numbers have come down significantly during certain periods of time, and then over the past couple of seasons, it's just been slight reductions here and there. So just for anybody that might be new, since I haven't done one of these videos in a while, you can see that we launched this in the middle of the summer, June 15th, was the first one. We had plenty of folks over the first couple of seasons, we'll say the first 5 seasons, and then keep in mind after season 5, so this is mid-August, you could no longer purchase the pass with vouchers, right? It was only DEC credits or DECB. And since that point, we had a major drop-off. You can see we dropped like 20% just from one season to the next. And then since then, it's been either flat or down a couple of percentage points, right? We'll say September here, down 5.3%. In October, we went down another 3.5%. And then in November, we went down, we'll just say under 4%, right? And here we are so far. And I'm not really focused on season number 14 because we just started this. We're only about a day or so in. And so I'm sure this number will pick up. But as you can see here, we went from, 2274 in season 12 to 2237, right? So it was a reduction of 37 accounts. So what's been interesting to follow when it comes to this trend is simply the fact that, like, obviously interest seems to be waning, right? It seems to be going down. And part of that, I did a video a little while ago, part of that was I think a lot of the accounts that were playing in Wild decided to go over to Modern because we saw that. And I'm not going to show it here, but you can go look up that video. But we saw that there was an increase in the amount of battles in Modern. And now all of a sudden, Modern and Wild are somewhat at parity, right? So it's like if you have cards that can compete in Modern, and so far, or at least for the time being, Chaos Legion cards are still Modern eligible. I think a lot of people saw the value of going and just playing in Modern rather than just letting the account stay in Wild and having to pay that 2,000 DEC fee. And so I think that's part of the reason that we're seeing this. Now, obviously, over the past couple of weeks, SPS did go up, right, above 1 penny. Obviously, it's back below 1 penny now. But, I'm just looking at the time frame here of the last 2 seasons, right? So going back into mid-November into December, right? And it was no surprise that obviously after the election, Bitcoin started pumping. It hit 100K, right? So there was a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, a lot of just generally positive sentiment around things that sent SPS higher, which made someone even like me want to play in Modern more, even though I am purchasing the Wild permit every single season just because travel or just not enough time to play all of the battles and energy. So as we go through here, obviously what will be very fascinating to watch as we're turning the corner from 2024 into 2025 is what are the major impacts going to be. So the biggest one and the biggest unknown, which I'm hoping that we will get a little bit more clarity on in terms of like release date, is the survival mode. That is the new game mode that is coming in. It's not going to require energy, but I do wonder if people may look at that as kind of like this pseudo way to participate in Wild without having to pay the Wild Pass or the Wild Permit and participate in Wild, format. There will be other ways in which they can earn, or people can earn their what's that called? SPS, as this will be a totally new reward pool, and that could potentially even take more away from Wild. Aside from that, obviously, there's going to be a massive shift sometime in March or April or whenever the Modern format rotates and we get all of Chaos Legion fully into Wild and exclusively into Wild, right? It'll no longer be in Modern format. But that's still a while away, right? Everything else, it's really difficult to see how this plays out. Now, the biggest factor, right? The biggest factor that is we cannot predict, we cannot quantify, but obviously, if we're heading into what will hopefully be a bull run year, 2025, similar to 2021 and 2017, is if SPS does start to rise and rise significantly. And when I say that, I mean, even just a couple of X's getting to 2-3 cents is significant enough where people will overlook that 2,000 DEC pass and say, you know what? I can earn more, whether it's from just random accounts, random cards in my alt accounts or whatever the case is. Let me just go ahead and start botting, right? So those are going to be the things that we look out for. Obviously, the market isn't very much in I don't know, like a consolidation mode right now. Bitcoin as of today is like 94, 95K, and we're just in a place where it's like the holidays, so everything is just generally slower right now. But in terms of tracking this data, and what I've been doing, what I plan to do, obviously moving forward, is we will see what the major impacts are. So whether SPS can climb above 1, 2, 3 cents, right, and stay there for a significant period of time, that gets people off the sidelines. What will be the impact of survival mode when that does come out? Again, I'm hoping that it will be sometime in January, and that will potentially spur some interesting things within the game economy. And then of course, as we go further along out, and this is like 6 seasons away, potentially 6 seasons or more, but that would be Conclave Arcana coming into the mix and people really seeing what wild format looks like, or actually wild format is going to be the same, but it's like once Chaos Legion is no longer in wild format, what are people going to be doing? Are we going to get a massive exodus from people that used to play in modern but now will come back into wild? So that's kind of like the 3 to 4 month time frame that I'm looking at in some of the major events. Obviously, there's a lot that can happen in there that could impact things. I mean, again, right? Like a Bitcoin bull run is an exciting time period. 3-4 months, so much can happen. But those are the major things that I am considering right now. I'm not even looking into like, okay, what happens if the team does marketing and brings new players in and the cost of assets and SPS goes up. Like all that stuff does factor in, but they're not like, they're more like auxiliary items, right? Of like things that would help and complement one another rather than like, okay, SPS going up for the market being pushed up or SPS going up for the new players coming in, whatever it is. SPS going up is a requirement in order for people to feel as though the wild permit is worth it for their secondary or even maybe their main accounts, right? But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Just want to share with you some of this data. Again, it is on the decline, but not in a massive way. And at least, within the last couple of seasons, I did post that video showing that most of the migration was happening over to modern format, and we were seeing a lot more players in modern. But if this continues to slide, and let's say that, season 14 is just not that fantastic, right? Maybe we don't even cross 2,000. I think we will. Again, we're only 1 day in, and people are by the wild pass like all the way through until like the last couple of days of the season. For some strange reason, that's what they do. But keep in mind, people are like on holiday right now, and this season is going to go until mid-January at the very least. So there's still plenty of time for people to come back from the holidays and focus in on this, and then start playing in maybe a week or so. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.